like to welcome you to the Guthrie City Council on April the 2nd. If you will stand with me, please. Ask Pastor Reapy to come. I just wanted you to make sure I was up before you started praying.
Let's pray. Father, we come to you this evening thanking you for the lovely rain that we're having. We thank you for the blessing of that. We thank you for the blessing of our council members and our mayor and all that work here at this community to make this better. We thank you for the election that we've had, Father, and we just pray that you'll bless those that are elected and guide them to being the people that we need for this community. We just ask your blessing upon this meeting tonight, Father, and we pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We're going to call the Guthrie Public Works to order. We do have a quorum of trustees. And the first one in community announcements and recognition, Lucy, you're the gunner.
Thank you. I was wondering if, before I give the quarterly report, I could make a brief statement to you, Mr. Mayor.
To me?
The.
My wife tried that the other day, and it's a terrible thing. Yes.
I just wanted, this is the last quarterly statement, quarterly report I'll give before you as mayor, and I just wanted to thank you for being so kind and so gracious, and your warm, loving heart made me feel very welcome when I first started 2 years ago, and you and Don Reapy were like my little beacons whenever I was feeling like I was going to collapse and crush myself under the weight of my own misery. You guys would come and lift me up, and you were always there for me, and I want to tell you I'll miss you an awful lot, and I'll miss your smile. And whenever I begin to feel overwhelmed and I need some reassurance or something, I'll just remember your smile, and you feel that big old hug, and I'll get a smile on my own face, and it'll make me happy.
Lucy, let me tell you that you've been a breath of fresh air. You do a tremendous job for us, and we've walked a lot of miles together, me and you and the Ripper. And,
well,
thank you for those words. They're greatly appreciated.
Well, good. Thank you. I'm giving the quarterly report for the first quarter for the CVB in Guthrie for 2013. Dear Mr. Bircher, as per the contract agreement between the Guthrie Chamber of Commerce and the City of Guthrie, I am enclosing financial records and a summary from the first quarter of 2013. In the past, most of the report has been made of comprehensive statistics and overall assessments of work that have been undertaken. This quarter, by the way, you all have a copy of this on all the paperwork in front of you. This quarter, I would like to enumerate a few more of the specific projects that have been initiated or facilitated by the Guthrie Convention and Visitors Bureau. By some estimates, 75 to 85% of our time is spent on CVB-related tasks, from the answering of the phone, emails, and snail mail to the welcoming of guests from out of town, out of state, and out of the country into our office. From learning how to relate and network with travel industry professionals in order to lure them to our beautiful city, to helping a daughter whose father grew up in Guthrie and more than 50 years ago moved to California but would love to come and see one more 89ers parade. From going to nationwide travel shows to extol the gem that is Guthrie, to being the go-to organization to answer questions, make suggestions, and convince them that Guthrie is the place when an international band called the office and wanted to bring a music festival to town. The CVB has been on the job. We're able to provide visitor information and hospitality to current and potential visitors from all over the world. And how do they find out about Guthrie's charms? To a large extent, they learn about us as a result of the hard work of the CVB. I want to share with you some of what happened with the portion of the hotel-motel tax that was dispersed to the CVB this quarter. Most of the balance of the distribution was used as follows, with amounts rounded for simplicity. Town beautification, $125. billboard advertising at the Stillwater I-35 on-ramp, and 2 billboards at the Lazy E Arena, $1,783. Certified folder display, which is a service that distributes our tourism pieces across a multi-state region, $474. Reorder of our destination Guthrie event card, which was distributed all over the world by Certified Folders, Oklahoma Recreation and Travel Department, in our lobby racks and by mail, $1,248. Updating and redesigning our CVB destination guide for 2013, $1,530. Oklahoma Recreation and Tourism Department, $603. Utilities, 2/3 of the phone and internet, $834. Festival pole electrical, which is a pole that is used for special events here in town, that the CVB and Chamber jointly take care of, $122. Advertising in multiple media forms and publications. Oklahoma Today, we had a full-page ad and several other things for $2,750. In the Gazette, in February, we had a promotion for our B&Bs and our spring break for $385. We've been doing in Opubco a monthly Guthrie grouping with the merchants, and we've spent $400 on that so far. 89er pledge, $250. Multiview, which is the ABA website and email distribution list. We have the ABA is running our shopping commercial that we created a couple of years ago on their website. Metro Family, payment for a Christmas spread, $549. Contract with Midwest Media to do press releases, handle advertising offers, create the Tattler Monthly, find and negotiate advertising opportunities, help create a marketing strategy, $1,200. Production of a new Christmas commercial, $1,000. Travel expenses associated with education and travel shows. The ABA convention for supplies, the convention we already paid for back in 2012, $300. A Leadership Arts Conference at Quartz Mountain, $155. Leadership Arts for Miami, Oklahoma, $95. And the Wichita Women's Fair in Kansas City, $115. In addition to all of this, we received 35,288 hits on our website, GuthrieOklahoma.com. The Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department sends over 1,150 of our pieces out per month all over the United States and beyond. They also provide our Destination Guthrie and Rec cards to 12 other Oklahoma tourism sites across the state. Our partnership with Frontier Country continues to benefit us in many ways as we continue through the program that we purchased at the first of the year. We have numerous advertising opportunities through them that would otherwise have been unaffordable for us. We are still running commercials in the Tulsa and Oklahoma City markets on several of their cable channels and will continue this all year at designated times. The Guthrie CVB is supportive of community growth and development in the formation of an arts foundation and the designation of an arts district, which will undoubtedly bring an influx of people that are interested in supporting the arts. The first quarter of 2013 has been full of promise for greater things in the future. We strive daily to provide everyone the chance to discover what we have found. Guthrie, a jewel in the making. We're looking forward to what new and exciting things will be coming up next. Sincerely, Mary Coffin, President of the CVB.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Thank Mary. That's a great job. Thank you very much. Where are you going? Home? I just thought I'd just,
Can I have your copy?
I'm just
I
checking.
didn't get one.
All right,
Say, and I'm
let's
behind.
move on to the consent agenda.
Yeah, you didn't remember me.
Vice Mayor.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, at this time, I'd make a motion to approve items A, B, C, and D this time.
What about the new date on C?
A new date on,
C. Is it this one right here? This one? Is that the one you're saying? Are we gonna have a new date for the meeting?
They have to cancel this one first.
you gotta cancel this meeting first.
And then we
another-
make
we
a
have to
new
bring
one,
it
right?
up.
Okay.
Yeah, not tonight, but
Second the motion.
Would make a note on the consent agenda that it goes A, B, C, D, C instead of on the adjournment.
Well, C is the next.
Oh, okay.
You're on your toes.
Try to do better next time.
Should be
All right.
four.
But you have my motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Cast your votes, please.
Chairman, all the votes in.
Yes, ma'am, show us how we felt. Motion passes unanimously. We are, Mary is out to a class, so she is broadening her horizons. So, anyway, so it passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. Request adjournment?
So moved.
I can do that.
Oh, you can do that.
Guthrie Public Works is adjourned. We'll call to order the Guthrie City Council. Vice Mayor, the consent agenda, please, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion at this time to approve items A, B, and D. I think we need to pull item C to speak about withholding for total investments at this time.
Well, if you'll just pull the total investment claim out of the claims, you can approve all three.
Okay, well, at this time, then I would withhold the total investments check at this time out of item C on the claims, and then make a motion to approve the remaining balance of claims of item C.
Okay, so we're doing A, B, D, and then coming back for C, is that right?
We'll
A, B, C, and D, when we've pulled totals claim out of B,
Second.
or C, I mean.
Okay, A, B, C, and D. Have a second.
Second.
I do. Cast your votes.
Mayor, all the votes are in.
Yes, ma'am, show us how we felt. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, council. All right. Are we going back to C, or are we going to move on?
No, we're
All right, going to 3.
Number 3.
Item 3, city manager.
Number 3 is to consider approval of a negotiated construction schedule with total investment on the airport construction contract. At our last meeting, we met with the contractor, Total Investment and Company, and the council instructed us to move forward to negotiate a contract schedule. We proceeded to do so this past Wednesday. We were provided the construction schedule and agreed to that construction schedule as of yesterday. I would like Curtis, our engineer with Garber, to come and discuss with us some new findings in the project.
Well, I will, excuse me, I'll start with the construction schedule. We received this schedule yesterday afternoon, had a chance to review it late last night and this morning, and it does appear to be in order, sequenced, and addressing a number of the concerns that we had in our workshop on Wednesday. This schedule does show a completion date on November 26th. I'd like to call your attention, that is about 155 days into liquidated damages. Liquidated damages in this contract are $1,000 per day, so it does show that out. He does have some float in this schedule, working for some reworks or other things, so there's an opportunity that he can beat this schedule, but this is the performance plan, and we do deem it reasonable, not excessive in either direction, back and forth. The time from today to the end of the schedule is 238 days. That is actually longer than the original performance time of the total schedule, but given the loss of manpower and equipment, again, it seems reasonable for what he could do. So that's that on the schedule. Are there any questions concerning schedule before I move on? Okay, and then also dealing with the schedule, I don't know if Serena, you and Randall want to address, but we did receive a notification from the bond company this afternoon that a premium had not been paid, and I brought that to, they asked me to bring that invoice to the city's attention, and I did receive that at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and brought that to my meeting here shortly before council, so I believe I guess I need to turn it over to you, Serena, for that item.
As discussed in the workshop, we do have an unpaid invoice for the premium for that bond. We are responsible to pay that, we being the city and or the contractor. Randall and I've discussed and would like to introduce the idea that we withhold the amount of the invoice and the amount of $22,779 from the the future payout to total investment so that we can secure a bond in an effort to protect the city financially. Randall, you want to add to that?
Yeah, there's a little over $86,000 was in the claim tonight that we've withdrawn from our claims. We're going to take that money and pay $22,779 over to the bonding company on the bond that is the performance bond, which is our protection in this deal. And the balance, we're suggesting $63,858.46 be applied to liquidated damages. That's actually still less than half of the liquidated damages if he performs according to the schedule. Now, obviously, if he performs quicker, that $155,000 number will go down, but it's still going to be out there. What were we at, Curtis, before we did the new schedule?
The estimate that I had that was presented to council a couple weeks ago was guessing around $84,000 in liquidated damages. The contractor felt like he might be able to beat that, so
Well,
I think that's a fair amount.
Even if he beat it to the tune of $20,000, he still owes us $64,000 today. And we're going to withhold $63,858 and apply it on that and assume that he can continue and finish on this schedule or before. So I think all the staff's recommendation is going to be to accept the calendar, subject to withholding $22,779 to be paid on his performance bond premium and $63,858.46 to be held as liquidated damages pursuant to the contract he entered with the city of Guthrie. Be happy to answer any question.
No. Do you need that in a motion?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I'd make a motion to approve the contract, or I'm sorry, correction, to approve the calendar schedule for Total Investment Company with the withholding of $22,779 for issuance of the performance bond payment and reduction of the $63,858 for the liquidated damages at this time.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Cast your vote, please.
Mayor, all the votes are in.
Yes, ma'am, show us how we felt. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Everybody understand that we are protecting the city's interest in this, and this is the reason we must do it in this way. Okay?
Thank Curtis for making several trips to Guthrie and back and forth the last week to try to get this thing worked out with the
Thanks, Curtis.
contractor.
We appreciate that, brother. All right, item 4.
This is to consider approval amending Section 8 assignment and subletting of the Territorial Square Dance Club lease agreement for use of the building commonly known as the Girl Scout Cabin. After our last council meeting, I had a meeting with Andy and another individual from that group. And after they taught me how to square dance, we proceeded to discuss negotiations. What we agreed to in that meeting was that because the city does desire that there be someone in that facility in an effort to take care of it, that the leasee would adhere to city property code, keep the place in good repair, and that the city in retrospect would provide a criminal background inspection for anyone that would be a tenant in that location in the future, and that we would do an annual inspection on the property to make sure that it's meeting said codes. That is as far as we got. We did not discuss a dollar amount at that time.
I move to table with for further discussion on this issue, specifically on how much and what would be a proper way to assess maintenance and labor and maintenance.
What is wrong with letting the contract be as it's stated for the square dancers?
I'll second that. Is that your motion?
Oh, my motion? Yeah, okay.
I second.
I thought you were, okay, thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Mayor, all the votes are in.
Show us how we felt. Motion passes 4-1. All right, let's go to item 5.
Item number 5 is a public hearing and consider approval of a request by Marion Key Worcester for a special use permit to allow a triplex in an area zoned as R1 located at 702 South Drexel. On March 14th, the Planning Committee reviewed and heard the request. We sent out 22 letters to property owners within 300 feet. The Planning Commission reviewed and moved to deny the application based upon increase of traffic, increase of parking among public streets. It is staff's recommendation to deny the request to issue a special use permit for a triplex located at 702 South Drexel.
Public hearing.
Oh, you could open the public hearing.
Is this applicant? Is the applicant here? Would you like to address the council, please?
Hi, my name is Marion K. Walkstetter. You did good.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Oh, you did good. I've heard much, much worse. So, you have any questions, or you just want to hear what I have to say?
Well, let's hear what you have to say, and then we may have some questions.
Okay. The thing about this particular house is it's been my home since 2001. When I moved in, it was used as a duplex. It had been used as a duplex for years before. And throughout the years, I used it as one as well. Mr. Chappell, who owns the house next to me, said he had owned that house for 15 years and had always known it to be used as a duplex as well. So what I really am wanting to do is just like grandfather in a third living area. I had been working towards making a third living area. I've put a lot of money into this house. I've taken it from a very rundown house to a halfway decent place to live now. And you know, I would love to stay there myself, but I have a son in Wisconsin that has a daughter. He has full custody of her. He works out of state. I'm retired, so he doesn't have family there, so that's why I have moved up to Wisconsin. I've been there for a couple of years and have been renting the house out. So as far as the parking is concerned, there's a long driveway in the front that will accommodate at least 2 vehicles. There's another driveway on the side that is, I've been told that it's a driveway and a half, or it's a vehicle and a half driveway or something like that. It's a little bit bigger than just one small driveway. My plan is in the back, in the back of the house, there's a fence along the back side. Half of the fence is wooden, and then on the other, the other half of it is chain link. Now my plan is to take that chain link fence out and put a driveway in there, so there will not be any parking on the street anywhere. As far as traffic is concerned, there's 4 houses on my side of that alley that already use that to drive back and forth and park in the back sometimes. They can park in the front too, but it's been used a long time for that purpose. And also that, I'm sorry, I lost my thought.
I can relate to that, honey. Take your time.
Anyway, there shouldn't be any trouble with traffic or anything back. There's a very quiet neighborhood. Yes, now I remember. I also have a very detailed and what do you call, almost, you could call it probably a strict lease. I know sometimes words are just things put on paper, but not only do I have a lease for my occupants that live there, my renters, I also have a list of policies. And within these policies, there's certain things that the tenant or the renters are required to abide by, and one of the things is there's no parking allowed on the grass, in the yard, or anything like that. If they should do that, they break the lease. And within the lease, they're required to initial and sign that they've read these policies and agree with them and will abide by them. So, I've taken as many precautions as I can to keep people from, tearing up the yard and stuff like that. I'm very particular. When I lived there, if somebody parked on my grass, they got off of it. When I had renters there, if they had people that would park on the grass, I would go tell them, you can't do that. And then I developed this list of residential policies for the area. So I do? Was that what, okay. Well, I guess that's it. I hope you reconsider, though. I would like to grandfather in the triplex, but it's already been used for a duplex all this time.
Okay, is there any questions from the council?
What was the planning commission? What were they so upset about?
The one thing was like what was written there, the extra traffic along the road. The one thing I didn't think about at the time, though, is there's one driveway on Lincoln, one driveway on Drexel, and then the other driveway would be in the yard along the alley. So,
Well, when you told them you were going to make more parking space available, they didn't understand that?
I don't know. They heard me. They understood it. There was a couple of them, though, that seemed to be concerned that it would be more traffic and cause problems that way, and parking on the grass.
Well, I know, but you said you were going to correct that by putting the new pavement in for them to park on, correct?
Yes, I did. I told them that.
And they didn't understand that?
I don't guess so.
There seemed to be a question here. Commissioner Ogden talked about he was against compromising the land use intention for single-family homes only. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
That's really the precedent that you're setting, is are you going to allow multifamily use in the single-family zoning area? And you've got to make that call. Planning Commission recommended no.
It was split vote 3-2 though.
Yeah, but the recommendation coming to you is a 3-2 vote to deny this application.
May I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I also have no intentions of renting out 2 of the areas to more than one person. They will not accommodate more than one person. So I don't know if that will help or not, but as far as extra traffic and
Saying there's single people that live in those places?
not now. I found out that this needed to be approved. So once I lost my renters last spring, I didn't put anybody else back in there. I tried to sell the house and couldn't get it sold, and so I thought, well, if I'm going to have to continue to rent it, I want to do it right and come for the city and get the permission and everything that I need in order to do that. So it has there's 2 people, there's a couple living in the front part of the house, and there's nobody else in the other 2 apartments.
And you were going to make them single dwellings, right?
Yes, one is already complete. The other one is about 3/4 complete now. And there had been people living in the one upstairs. That's been going on for a long time.
Well, I don't see where that would be a problem if it's just going to be single dwellings in the other 2.
Yeah, well, I hope you all feel that way.
And you're not going to rent these until the paving's done, is that correct? Till the paving is provided?
Well, there's paving for 2 of them already. I
But
could
for
go
the other
ahead.
one, You're
yeah.
going to provide paving first before you rent it, right?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the city requires.
Okay.
Randall, what are the implications of the code that Mr. Ogden was talking about?
Well, you're setting, I don't know the general character of the neighborhood, but it's zoned single family, and now you are setting a precedent in this neighborhood to allow multifamily. And the question is, do you want to allow apartments, triplexes, anything else, multifamily, in a single-family zoning area by way of special use
What, her
permit?
property values?
I never get into property values.
don't.
Property values is not really the issue. It's, is this a proper land use? Is multifamily. You've got a zoning ordinance that says this is zoned single family. So the issue is this a proper multifamily location within a single family zoning?
Is it being a triplex over a duplex, or is a duplex out of the?
The duplex is technically out of compliance. A triplex, it has never been a triplex, so there's no grandfathering of triplex because that hasn't been a triplex.
And are you moving with your son to?
Yeah, I live
So
in
you-
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And I have someone to manage the property for me here.
Is property for sale at this time?
Not at this time. Like I said, I tried to sell it and couldn't, so I was really losing money badly on it. And so I got renters and, took it off the market and put some renters in there for now, so.
And they're single family, right?
It's the front part. The front part can accommodate more than just one person.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-bedroom, the front part is, and it's a married couple.
Okay.
They don't have any children that live with them. They have one child that lives with the other parent and visits.
I don't play devil's advocate, but the city has no control over her lease terms or policies or who the next owner
Right.
might be and what they lease. All you have control over is land use, and you determine whether this is single family, multifamily.
Okay, anybody have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to see her be able to rent the 3 apartments and put the pavement in for the people to park on.
Okay, I have a motion. Is that feasible?
I think the guts of the motion is to approve the special use permit allowing a triplex conditioned on the additional pavement being added, which you can put whatever conditions you want on a special use permit as far as what she has to build.
That's fair.
Do I have a second? Does it die for a lack of second? Okay,
That motion would fail if there's not a second.
what I really want to be able to do is tell you something that you're going to be able to do to bring this back, and it's just for single dwelling, so she doesn't have a problem if she just rents to one person that
Not
house,
to one,
right?
no, not to one.
As long as you
family.
rent to one family, you can generate that revenue. But, my thinking on the deal is, as long as you do that, you're all right, but,
Well, the thing of it is if I just rent to one family, that may cover the mortgage payments and the taxes and the insurance, but this house needs attention. I've done very well in, keeping it going as best I can. This last year's been extremely difficult financially. I don't want to cry on your shoulder or anything like that, but it has not been easy. If I rent to one person, as far as repairs and things like that are concerned, putting money back into the house is going to be almost impossible for me to do that. And it's not like the other houses. Years ago, somebody came in and built onto this house. The other houses are still the original three-bedroom brick dwellings along that one block there. There's 4 of them. This one house, years ago, somebody built a 2-story back-end part, and for that use, I suppose, because it's been used that way since then or after that. A long time before I bought the place.
Well, since the motion failed, I think we're going to have to, I'd entertain a motion to go with,
We don't need another motion, Mayor.
Staff?
There's not been a motion to approve, and the motion, or there was a motion, it failed for lack of a second, so the application would be denied.
so we don't have to vote on that?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, try and get with city staff and see if there's something we can do to help you.
Sure.
I hate for you just to stand here with your hands up, but sit with city staff and see if we can work something out that is feasible.
You mean the planning?
That'd be a
Planning, yes, ma'am.
The planning
Yeah.
department or the planning commission?
department.
The
Go to the
department.
planning department, see if they can't
Under
start you in
Renee,
a
right?
direction,
Renee, Dr. Renee Spinto.
Okay,
okay?
Okay.
See if they can't help you, okay?
okay.
I understand what you're doing, I know you're gonna be a long ways away from this, so see if
Yeah.
there's an answer we can come up with, and then it can come back to us,
Oh, okay.
okay?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
All right, item 6.
To consider approval of resolution number 2013-04 designating April 14th through 20th, 2013 as National Telecommuter Week. This is a way that we acknowledge our 911 dispatchers and our telecommunications for public safety, as we do believe them to be the brains of the operation, and no public safety would be beneficial without the dedication and support of our 4 full-time employees. And I know the mayor understands when I say the brains of the operation, and our lifeline to our people is through that dispatch. So in an effort to join the National Telecommunicator Week, we ask that you approve Resolution 2013-4.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second, cast your votes.
Mayor, all the votes are in.
Yes, ma'am, show us how it fell. Motion passes unanimously. I might say something real quick on this, forgive me for this, but these guys do a tremendous job under a lot of pressure. And you get a chance, you might tell them how much you appreciate them they just kind of fly under the radar, and you don't get a chance to tell them what a great job they do, but they really, really do. City manager's report.
We had a great time at OML Day at the Capitol. I want to thank Councilmember John Wood for joining us, along with 6 individuals that were students. We were the only city in Oklahoma that brought students, as we were asked to do, and we brought 6 students. I thank the school district for allowing those students to field trip and learn quite a bit about our local government. Officer Gibbs joined me, Cody Mosley, Councilmember Wood. So we had a great time at that. I want to thank council on behalf of our staff for Good Friday, a much-needed time with our families. I will be out of the office the next 2 days in continuing education. Senator Einhoff's visit was a great success last week, and we thank him for his continued support to Guthrie. I'm sure that someone at this table will talk about 89ers. Am I right, Patty?
I can't imagine who it might be.
And there was a great Easter turnout in our community, and thank God for rain.
Amen.
Much needed. So that's all I have today.
Good rain.
All right. Patty, I'm going to let you talk about 89ers.
Well, I hope everybody got out today and voted. We had Friday and we had Monday, and I'm certainly sorry the weather was so bad, because we need people to get out and vote. That's what government of, for, and by the people is about, is to get out and vote and tell them what you think. So I hope everybody made it. 89ers is coming up April 16th on Tuesday. Will be the auction, and I don't know if you guys can get a shot of this or not, but this is some of the main things that are going to be auctioned off. And these are really, really nice items that are donated by the community. from all the people that have shops here and everything. These are really, really nice items. So I hope all of you come out for the Chuck Wagon Feed. This is what the tickets look like this year for the Chuck Wagon Feed. They're $10, and the feed is always really, really good. And it's a time that all the families can come out and have fun, and we have a silent auction table and also the live auction table. And then Saturday will be the 89ers Parade, which is always a lot of fun to come to. And this year, the city has decided to be able to come to 89ers Chuck Wagon Feed. We will not be meeting up here, and hopefully we'll set another date to have a meeting that week. We won't miss out. But I hope all of the people and the citizens here in Guthrie can come to 89ers and have a wonderful time with their families. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor.
It's like,
That was a fake thing.
No, I just, for those of you that don't know, Councilman Sherry Mueller stepped down as she moved, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank her for her service to the city. We didn't get an opportunity she didn't get an opportunity to say it here, so I'd like to say it from my behalf. I appreciate her filling in where needed, and we sure appreciate her time on the council. Other than that, that'll be fun potato watch party at Z's, apparently.
you getting hungry?
I am getting hungry.
All right, Zeester.
Well, I just want to thank everybody that did go out and vote today, because it is important that we do that. And I also want to just say that there were some people that did a lot of politicking for me in the last week or so. A lot of them weren't even in my ward because they thought it was important that I be reelected, and I hope they get that gift in a little while when we find out how the returns went. But they didn't do it for me, they did it for Guthrie. And I appreciate that a lot. It's very humbling to have people doing that sort of thing for you without even asking them to do it. So, thanks.
Have you got some notes, young man?
I do.
Well, go with it.
All right. So April 5th, the Lions Pancake Feed. It's 2 times, 11 o'clock and then 5 o'clock at the Legion. And proceeds go to scholarships for the high school. So it's a worthy cause. I hope you come out. And since we won't have our meeting next time, as I mentioned last week, I'll be the lion at the 89ers Parade, so you won't recognize me other than being a lion. So I'll have a whole suit on like I did last year. So, all right. That's it.
Watch out for small children. Don't be stumbling over people.
I've stumbled over, actually last year, I need to not be placed right by where they're throwing Frisbees, because you get behind, you start getting hit by Frisbees. And they seem to like the Frisbees more than the candy, it seems. So I have to watch for that. I almost fell a few times.
Please be very careful.
Can
Yes,
I
sir.
have a second?
Huh?
Can I say one other thing I meant
You
to
can
say?
say one other thing.
Well, I just want to say, I know this is probably your last meeting, and it's been a joy for working with you for the last 4 years, and I appreciate all you've done for the city as well.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Ditto
We're
that.
gonna have another
I agree.
meeting.
Huh?
We're gonna have another meeting.
I know,
You'll be
but
here.
it's gonna be short and sweet. I'm gonna
Oh,
gather
we
that
got-
$1 and go
we're
get a
not meeting here
$6
the
burger.
16th. We're gonna meet later in the week, aren't we? Isn't that right, Serena?
Y'all didn't reschedule it. We canceled one, but we can.
Well,
But
let's
we-
reschedule one.
We'll send that out. We were accepting applications, so we can schedule one.
Sorry to stir a pot.
Anyway, in case I'm not here for another meeting, I appreciate that, Z. Appreciate it very much.
Well, he has to be here May 7th.
Everybody knows how much I've enjoyed being mayor and what it's meant to me. So I have traded a antique car, an older car, and I have got me a fire engine now for my grandchildren. So I'm going to be the parade master with my grandkids in my new fire truck. So, and I might make a couple of house fires. I don't know. But, you know, I'd love that. Anyway, I want to thank this council in case we don't have time in other places for the great job that you guys have done, the concerns you've had for this community, the decisions you've made. That's important. Let me tell you, a new deal is happening at 89ers. One of the greatest things that's ever happened to 89ers is going to be a great geezer and gasser gathering. It's going to be hot rod cars, about 200 of them we're expecting. that will line up down Oklahoma Street on a Friday night. Guys, there's some of you in here that will love to come and see them old cars. We've got some drag racers, and we've got some classic cars, and
Are you a geezer or a gasser?
Boy, that's a loaded question.
Perfectly legitimate question.
I'm the geezer and Don's the gasser. Throw that out for me.
Live with that one.
You know, for people that don't know, a gasser is a hot rod that young men usually drive. So we started out to be a geezer gathering. And my son said, Dad, there's a lot of young guys going to be there with hot rods. So we made it a geezer and a gasser deal. So it's going to be a cool deal. We're going to be downtown. We're going to have some 50, 60 music. If some of y'all remember, you could understand the words in 50 and 60s music. So that'll be a breath of fresh air. And we're just going to have a ball. The guys that bring the hot rods are going to get a really nice picture on a plaque of their hot rod and a geezer t-shirt. So it's not a show. When you have a car show, somebody going to leave mad. They think their car is the prettiest, their 57's better than anybody else. Nobody can get mad at this. We're going to come and have a great time, and it's going to bring 200, 400 people to town with their wives, kids. It's going to be a great deal. We're going to do it every year. It's going to be an annual thing, so it's going to be fun. So
When's the old timers baseball game? Are you coaching?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
You coaching again?
I am coaching again. I've got a 5-0 record. I'm undefeated.
Can I be a bat boy?
A fat boy? You can be a fat boy. Oh, bat boy.
That
Okay.
I gotta see.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The thing about it is there's going to be an all-star team from Guthrie, Little League, and an all-star team from Edmond coming up here playing each other first. And then the geezers and the gassers will take the field. But my team's never been beat. Somebody may get me this year, but anyway.
Who's the umpire?
It's a lot of fun. It's Thursday. All right, being adjourned before this gets out of hand.
You make a good umpire if you can't see.